This is more of an experimental video topic. And I say experimental even though this is literally a video discussing news that actually happened. But today, we are talking about a guy who at one point in his NHL prospect career was seen as a steal. A piece of the New York Islanders' future that would be serving value for years to come, especially when you consider where he was drafted. Today, though, we are talking about his fall from that status to what is now a full-time KHL contract. Here we are on the website for Lada Togliatti on hclada.ru. Because Lada has just signed forward William Dufour out of the AHL and North America. Let's go out there and read this article over here. Hockey Club Lada has signed a one-way contract for one season with Canadian forward William Dufour. Dufour, January 28, 2002, 190.96. I assume that's pounds and centimeters, I guess? Would that be correct? I'm not really too sure. Began his career at the youth level in 2018 and played for 4 years in the QMJHL for 4 teams. The Rouyn-Noranda Huskies, Chicoutimi Saguenay, Drummondville Voltigeurs, and St. John Sea Dogs, with whom he became the league's most valuable player and top scorer at the end of 21-22, scoring 56 goals in 66 games and winning the Memorial Cup. William Dufour has also gotten experience playing for the Canadian World Junior team and won the 2022 World Junior Championship. At the adult level, the forward ended up with the New York Islanders system, selected by the club in the 5th round of the 2020 draft under the overall number 152. But then he had spent most of his time in the AHL. Last season, Dufour played a total of 58 games for the Bridgeport Islanders and Colorado Eagles, earning 22 points. Welcome to Lada, William. Now here's the thing. This is a really interesting update for folks who have been following prospects and taking a look at just how these careers usually go. You read that right here on the article, but William Dufour is only 23 years old, and just as far back as 2 years ago, he was seen as a top prospect for the New York Islanders. 6'3", 212, right-handed right wing. From Quebec, he was a 5th-round pick all the way back in 2020. I say all the way back in 2020 like it wasn't 5 years ago. This guy was drafted 5 years ago. And the scouting report goes out there and says this: Dufour pressures opponents, wins the puck, and then skates it up to the offensive zone to focus his attention on the goalie. When the puck touches his stick in the offensive zone, its next stop is the net, and quite often the back of it. Dufour surprises goalies by aiming low. Plus, his blade remains closed until the moment of release, hiding his intended placement. That is some very deep analytical analysis of William Dufour's stick position whenever he takes these shots. But going back over to the numbers here, I mean, drafted out of Chicoutimi and Drummondville, 55 points in 59 games played. Maybe not the most impressive set of numbers, which is why he went in the 5th round, but the years after, I mean, you take a look at that 21-22 season, 116 points in 66 games. There's a reason Islander fans were super excited for William Dufour. Imagine that, eh? A hard-nosed, puck-focused, towards-the-net-driven winger who happens to be 6'3", 212. There was a lot to like out of William Dufour as a hockey prospect. And just by the time 2022 rolled around, so many people were saying, yeah, this guy could be the real deal. This guy can do some very good things. He was a point per game at the World Juniors. There was so much to be excited for out of Dufour. But the years after, I mean, he only played one NHL game for the New York Islanders, was a -2. Not great. And I think if we take a look, did he have significant minutes in that one NHL game that he had? I'm not too sure. I think he only played, He played 6 minutes and 48 seconds in the one NHL game that he had and was a -2. That's not great. But in the AHL, he actually did produce fairly well in his first season, 48 points in 69 games played. The years after, though, his production really declined. 25 points, 55 games in 23-24, 18 points, 45 games the year after, before getting sent over to the Colorado Eagles, scoring only 4 points in 12 games over there. I forgot, how is it that he found himself in Colorado? Was it that Brock Nelson trade? Am I correct about that? Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh. This was seen as a really big deal. Like, oh wow, the Colorado Avalanche got Brock Nelson and William Dufour. But then again, they had to give up Callum Ritchie, who is a really, really good prospect himself. We haven't even spoken about Ritchie this entire time in talking about the Islanders and their offseason. So, yeah, that's a big shocker to me there. But Dufour was sent over to Colorado in the Brock Nelson deal. And now, I mean, you take a look at it, he went from the QMJHL to the Islanders, Islanders to the Avalanche, and then the Avalanche over to Lada Togliatti, all in the span of a few months. And, I'm actually rereading that. Lada Togliatti. I said something different earlier in the video, right? Yeah, they have a Togliatti. They have a different spelling here. The Russian alphabet is a little bit different when you translate everything. Hockey Club Lada Togliatti versus Lada Togliatti. Huh. Look at me trying to learn grammar on the fly here while recording YouTube videos. But I'm not going to go out there and dismiss William Dufour's NHL potential for now. He is only 23, so there still is a lot of time for him to get things together and inevitably become a National Hockey League consistent player. But it's very apparent that from the way his career was going with the Islanders, despite the fact that he had so much hype 3 years ago, there just does not seem to be a path to the NHL for 2025-2026. And I can understand from Dufour's perspective why he had signed in the KHL, even though it is really bizarre to see a Canadian prospect who is still 23 take that step at this stage of his career. Like, normally you'll see QMJHL stars and World Junior point per game guys just kind of hover around in the American Hockey League for a little bit longer, and then by the time they're 25 or 26, that's when they head over to the KHL. Dufour's taking it early. Like, that is it. He is done in North America for now. 1-year contract, though, with Lada Togliatti, so who knows if there really is potential for him to stay in the KHL. Maybe this will be seen more so as a growth year, just a development kind of season for Dufour. But either way, if you're an Islanders fan or a Colorado Avalanche fan, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about William Dufour's departure from North America to the KHL for Lada Togliatti at 23 years old? This is a very interesting development path, and that's why I wanted to make a video about it here. Let me know in the comments all your opinions. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.